Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the 5 interesting facts about the United States of America. Please remember to like and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Fact 1. America is the third largest country in the world. In terms of land size, America is actually the third largest country in the world, behind Russia and Canada. Now some people may say that China is the largest country in the world, and so depending on who you ask, some might say China, some might say United States. However, for the purpose of this video, we'll assume that the United States of America is the third largest country by land area in the world. With such a massive size, it is evident that the country is full of resources and many types of geographical features and climates. Because it spans across from the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Pacific Ocean and into the Arctic because of Alaska, America is very diverse and contains many different types of land formations, environments such as deserts, tropical places, mountainous alpine regions, and just flat rolling plains, and everything else in between. Now let's move on to the next fact. Fact 2. The highest vehicle ownership in the world. Now a lot of facts you will find is that China is the largest automobile market in the world. And this makes sense, simply because they have way more people than the United States. However, not all of the people, 1.4 billion of Chinese people, can afford to buy a car. And therefore, although it is the largest automobile market, it is actually not the country with the highest vehicle ownership. That title still belongs to the United States. In the United States, there are about 800 cars for every 1,000 people. In some other states, such as California, you have more cars than people. In the United States, really with the only exception of, say, San Francisco or New York City, where you have a compact metropolis with very good public transportation, most of the United States, you need a car to get around. You need a car to survive, because to go from one place to another, chances are you're going to need a car and you cannot get there easily by foot or with public transportation. Now let's get into the next fact. Fact 3. No official language. Everyone knows that in the United States, all the signs are in English, most people speak English, and the government conducts its business in English. In fact, the Constitution, the highest law of the United States, is written in English. But did you know that there's actually not a single law that says English is the official language of the United States? I'm not sure why the founding fathers plus all of the governments that's formed since the creation of the country, no one has really tried to push an agenda to standardize on a language. In fact, in the United States, a contract or a legal document that's written in Spanish, as an example, is fully valid. It's not like some other countries where there is an official language written in law and forces everyone that conducts business or legal transactions to use that language. In the United States, technically you could get away with writing a contract or a legal document that's in a totally different language, and if the people signing the document don't know what's going on, it's still enforceable because there is no official language in the United States. Now let's move on to the next fact. Fact 4. The largest railway network in the world. Did you know that the United States actually has the largest railway network in the world? It is interesting because many other countries used railways before the United States and have been developing and using it for a long time. We just talked about how the primary mode of transportation in the United States is cars, and that's why the vehicle ownership rate is so high. But it's very interesting that the United States also has the largest railway network in the world. In fact, the next closest one, China, is about half the size of the railway network that the United States has. Remember, this also includes subway trains and other trains that uses like light rail. It's not just the distance going trains that you see with diesel engines going from one city to another from coast to coast. We're talking about all types of trains combined. And so with this, you may think that the United States would have the latest or the greatest railway technology, when in fact, it actually doesn't. European and Asian countries actually have better railway technologies than the United States. Now the next and final fact, fact 5, metrication. It is pretty well known that the United States doesn't use the metric system. All the signs on the roads, and as well as talking to people, the units of measurements are always using imperial units. For example, temperature is used in Fahrenheit, distance is used in inches, feet, miles, and weight is used pounds and ounces. So it may come as a surprise to you that actually the United States does use the metric system, and in fact the National Institute of Standards have adopted the metric system. If you think about it, the US military 100% uses the metric system. Many scientific and research facilities in the United States also have fully adopted the metric system. And therefore, you could say that while the United States is one of the few remaining countries that use imperial units during people's daily lives, in reality, it's a country that uses both the imperial and the metric system. Another good example is aviation. It uses both metric and imperial units in the United States. And so when you're talking to air traffic control, they actually understand both. And therefore, the metric system is very alive in the United States. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. And see you next time.